Yo, 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 yo. Try to get everything. And no, let me see here. Okay. F11. F11. Okay. There we go. Headphones, speaker line. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. YouTube pop in. Different. All right. Cool. All right, let's get this shit started. I guess. See how this works out. Pretty sure that came through my speakers too. Don't know why though. Whatever, doesn't matter. Not that important. I think it was just that one. All right. So, anyways, we're back. We are back. And what are we doing today? Oh, someone asked me to fill out the charting quiz. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna end stream. I got a couple things to do in this Father's Day, so I don't have that much time. Actually, I got tons of time. But I got like Father's Day stuff. Then friend, she's having a party, so got a couple things to do today. Anyways, let's get started. Yep. Okay. All right, so we got a couple of different charts. Move this out the way. Right. Up the slideshow. We don't actually need this up, to be honest. I don't know the charts by hand. I'm wasting valuable time. Okay, so what's the first chart? First chart is SLCA. And I believe we went over this one, but we'll do this one again. All right, so let's just walk through this. And I'm probably gonna speed run this shit. So immediately before January even starts, you see we're ranging down. Like I would say this is a bearish chart right now. Like you can draw that trend line. So right now, immediately before I even start looking, I already noticed that like there's no setup here. I'm not looking at this, so we can just skip this whole beginning until this thing makes a decent move, right? So reality, that's why I don't look at this setup here, even though this is wild as fuck. I mean, you probably shouldn't look at this, but it did have volume, but I'm not even looking at this right now. So first, it makes its first breakout here or whatever. And let's take this back a little bit. Makes the first breakout, you know, from this point, I would say around here, right? And it doesn't matter. It has been ranging in this, like you see that it's hit these levels before. So I'm not looking at this. That's just how I look at stuff. This is the day I get interested and I start paying attention to it, right? So before that, I don't pay attention to this at all. This is the day that big volume, really big volume. Obviously, you know, if you were paying attention to the market at this time, the end of February, a lot of oil and gas stocks started to get hot, right? So we're looking at this, and this is ugly, but we got a tight day here. The 10's not caught up. We get a I don't know that this day beforehand the breakout is ugly, but we're looking at this now, and yeah, this day right here we get it gaps up a little bit. It comes out with a lot of volume. I probably take that setup. Probably depending on how confident I am, probably 7 times out of 10 I take this setup. So we move on. You could watch this. This doesn't look bad. Like this actually looks better than what I was just talking about. Like this, this looks pretty good. But then it gaps down, so we're not watching that anymore. I don't take these little gap ups above I don't know. I see some people take these. I don't know an edge in that. I don't trade stuff I don't know an edge in. All right, so we keep going. This looks very good. I mean, huge move, right? the opening volume on this was like 30% in the first 30 minutes of the day. That's high opening range value. So I couldn't tell you what the hourly was on that. But too far back. Like, look at this day. This is trading 2 times as much. This had a high opening range value. Look at this. Look at this bar here. It's trading 2 times as much. You know, so this day right here, it's trading 2 times as it's trading more than 2 times. The day I took it, it was trading more than 2 times as much already. This is the type of high opening range value that I'm talking about, not the one that we was just talking about here. And then pretty much the rest of this chart, there's no setups because it's trending down. I'm not taking any of these. Yeah, and it's not really consolidating. I don't like any of this. Now, there could be an argument here, but I don't. The 10's under the 20, which is under the 50. I never take these trades. I almost never take these trades. The 10's under the 20, which is under the 50. I couldn't remember the last trade I took like that. So that's just not going to happen for me personally. Pretty much, I don't even take the trade if the 10's under the 20. Let alone the 50 doesn't even need to be on top. If the 10's under the 20, I usually don't take the trade. So, all right, let's figure out what's the next chart. So we have an entry here, and we have maybe a entry here, but I highly doubt I take this one. But I take this one majority of the time if I'm feeling confident in my trading. And I mean, that's pretty much how I look at trades. Would I take this or would I not? Because I do a lot of these back and forths, right? I do a lot of these go day by day trades, and I don't ever ask myself, is this a 5-star, 3-star, 4-star setup? I say, do I think I would take this trade majority of times? And the answer is usually, you know, if I like the setup, then yes. If I'm confident, I take this trade. This trade, I'm definitely not taking if I'm not confident, but it has a lot of additive metrics. I think if I am doing trading very well, or the stock market is doing very well at the time, I take the trade. But yeah, I don't really look at stuff as a 5-star, 4-star, 3-star. I find that very opinionated, and really you're just basing that off of what Chris calls a 4-star, 5-star, 3-star. And I don't personally trade like Chris, because I trade mainly on volume. That's one of the more metrics. I trade on volume, gaps ups, longer range basis that's coming out. I have my additive metrics already from me studying. So for me, yeah, I'm probably not taking a lot of the trades that Chris trades, or some stuff that he thinks is a 5-star. I don't think it's a 5-star, me personally. Well, anyways, so that's pretty much how I trade. So now for the rest of the going through the quiz, I'll be going a lot faster. So what's the next chart? Okay. Are we in the thing? The next chart is STIM, I guess. I think that's the next chart. There's no setup here. This was a bait. This was legit. This was a bait. This was just, I call this one. This chart was really, when I made this quiz, this chart was a noob catcher. You know, like, are you new to this? Do you know what you're doing? This chart is trending down. It has bounced off the top of its range multiple times. I mean, we can even go back. You can see, like, I mean, I don't know. I'm not touching this. It's trending down. It's not really too much to say here about this, except you're trading off sector. You're trading something. This is not a random stock or anything like that. But right now it is off sector and is very bearish. Why are you touching it? That's pretty much the message there. There's zero setups here. And from looking at the other experienced traders, even some of the non-experienced traders, I think just unanimously, most of the people that had some type of experience in the QM setups, the QMAGI setups, they all avoided this. I mean, this was a very easy one to see. There's nothing here. So let's look at the next chart. Let's make sure I didn't miss any. Oh, I did. I missed car. Okay. So let's go to car. This one wasn't so universal. So let's just start at the beginning. Let's start at the beginning here. I think this is the weekly. I think the weekly is where it should be. Let's start at the beginning. So already we had a very heavy top here, right? And then we probably got some people trapped in this consolidation that brought in, I mean, because this looks good, right? Like, I mean, this is a beautiful move. A 90% move to this huge breakout. I have no clue what happened here. I'm not about to look it up, but I think something happened with, like, if I remember right, like some type of, I don't know if Tesla did something, or they brought like a bunch of Teslas. I don't know. Or they got like a I don't know. Something like that happened back on this day. But either way it goes, it doesn't matter. But we see this had a huge breakout. People are trapped in this, just for the record. And then people probably tried to buy in during this consolidation. The consolidation actually broke down. So you probably have a bunch of people trying to exit this trade at some point, but pretty much there's a decent amount of time. I don't know how long it takes for someone to realize their position is trash, but yeah, I mean, so pretty much some people are still trapped, but some people probably got out. I mean, you go past. So I guess this is the part where I start looking at this. There's no setup here. And like I said, I never trade when the 10's under the 20, but the 10's starting to curl up now. So now I think you can start looking at this. I personally wasn't, because this was off sector. So I'll tell you straight up now, I'm not taking any setup in this. Zero. Because it was off sector. There's no reason to trade right here. There's no reason to look at this, in my opinion. And I say that only because you have this area right here. This chart was bearish. I mean, it's starting to break out now, so congrats to it, or you know, whatever. But oil and gas have been killing it this year. Commodities have been destroying it, making good runs where you can make money. No, the moves aren't linear, but if you wanted to trade something, I think you would stick to the hot themes that's up over 100% this year already, instead of something that's now emerging. Me personally, that's how I look at it. Am I going to go to which hasn't been working, or am I going to stick with what is working? Now, a lot of people will be like, oh, well, it's already ran 100, 200% this year or whatever. Like, well, it has to stop soon. I don't believe in that theory. Sector keeps breaking out. I'm going to pretty much abuse it until it doesn't work anymore. And that's what I did this year. I traded mainly commodities the entire year. I really didn't touch anything else. Only other thing I really touched was solar, and looking back, I think it was a complete mistake. So this looks, I mean, even right here, this is trending down. I know some people who have showed me strategies. There's an edge in this. I don't think this is any type of Chris setup. So personally, I'm not looking at this. But it's getting interesting. Now, you see, you see here, I don't know what the volume is here. It's too small. The volume is very average. But I mean, it's looking decent. Like, you know, has some consolidation. Once again, I'm not looking at it, but if someone else is looking at it, I'm not mad. If you took this on no volume, obviously you got stopped out. It's setting up again. Once again, let's see the volume on this day. This is way lower than average volume. And once again, let's see what happens. It starts to break out. You know, this day the volume picked up. This volume right here is 1.8 times the average. So this is volume confirmation. That's how you can use this. And then it looks like it starts to break down a little. And then you probably have been stopped out right here. Once again, the breakout didn't work. Why didn't the breakout work? I don't know, but I'm assuming it's probably because it's off sector. And then this thing just falls apart after this, right? So like I said, I'm not taking any setups in this because it's off sector. Very easy for me. If you know your trading style, then it should probably be easy for you too. If you don't, you know, then maybe it's not the easiest chart. So I think I skipped car. We already did. No, I just did car. We did this one, the semi. EOLS. So let's do this one. This looks like a tradable chart, but let's see if we find any entries on it. So yeah, let's go back. So already, just like the other oil and gas names from, I guess, I don't know, most of these took a hit back in winter. Not really sure why, but a lot of them took a hit. So yeah, let's start at the beginning of the year. So we're at the 31st. This is the first day. You already see, if you remember January got his ass beat. So, and going into the holiday season, which people thought it was going to be a good run, also got destroyed last year. So let's just go. So obviously I'm not even looking at this right now, so I can just tap through it. I'm not looking at this because it's bearish. Long-term downtrend so far. Well, not long-term, but like 3-month downtrend right now. So I'm not looking to trade this. But now we get past the 200, it starts setting up. So I'm looking at it right around here. Right around here, I can see myself looking at this. All right, breaks down. Okay, there's no setup here. I'm looking at it again. No, it didn't have enough consolidation for me to even reach on that, and there's no volume. Yeah, I mean, it's just, I'm not even looking at this anymore because it's just bouncing everywhere. It's getting too choppy now. So now I'm out of here. So let's look for the next consolidation range. All right, it's extended from the 10, but I probably wouldn't be looking at it because it's already showed to be choppy. It's extended from the 10, so let's just keep going. It tightened up a little bit, so let's look at it. All right, once again, broke the 10. It's coming choppy again. I'm not looking at it. Yeah, this stock is just really choppy. I don't see much tradable action here. All right, now it's starting to tighten up. It looks pretty decent right here. Okay, I'm still looking. And then it does this again. This stock likes to undercut like its moving average and then just jump up. I don't really understand this. Yeah, I'm never taking anything like this, me personally. Maybe when I first started out of reach for this, but no. But I think there's a decent argument to take this. I mean, even with this volume, I think if someone said I seen the volume and maybe they traded on an hourly flag, or I don't know. I mean, maybe you'll find a setup here, but me personally, this does not look good. I don't trade stuff like this. I see many people trade ranges like this. I personally don't. Just from looking at the quizzes, there was some people who traded ranges like that. It's not my thing. I don't really know it. Yeah, so for me, no entries here. 0 setups. All right, so next one. Next one's tail. Okay, so this should be interesting. This one had a lot of divergence in between traders too. Well, maybe not entry days, but like the reason why people took setups on this was very different. So immediately when I'm looking at this from past, you can see how unexperienced I was. This is my previous trend lines. Why am I drawing something down here? I don't even understand. What are these trend lines I was doing? This is the type of trader I was back in the day. I was just trading consolidation ranges. Tail was a chart that, I don't know, people were claiming to make good moves in 2021. So this was a chart that, was mentioned in the chat fairly often. And I think maybe it's because it made this huge move right here, 200% or whatever in January. And you can see I'm trying to follow this. And it actually broke out here. I don't know, but let's delete this. I don't even know what this trend line is. But just look at this. Now this range, I don't think this range was bad. I mean, huge move. But I don't look at, like I said, I don't look at bottom ranges like this anymore. That's not my thing. But yeah, it made a huge move. 160%. And we go over here, pulls back, starts consolidating, breaks down. Whatever. So anyways, let's get back to, yeah, like too many bottom ranges here for me. I don't trade like that anymore. That's back in September. I probably traded like that in 2021, honestly. I wasn't good in 2021. Blew up twice. Had to learn my lessons and start studying what actually works. What actually works that I would actually trade too at that. But yeah, let's go. So from the beginning, this is not really a downtrending chart. This start just doesn't keep its all-time highs. I don't even know if it's like close to it. I really don't know. Like it's over 34% away. I think I like to see within range of 50%. but really I would like to move that to 33. The most recent study I did, it had to be within 33% of its high, if it's it's 52-week high at that, not all-time high. Yeah, so I'll just start by saying I don't like this chart a lot. I think TEL is one of those stocks that doesn't, like I said, it doesn't grind upwards. It just bounces around a lot, making it very hard to trade, and your timing has to be good on it. I don't like charts like this particularly. I struggle with trading them pretty much, because these red days, like 2 red days, like if you took this here and you see these 2 red days, you probably would trade it. Like, I mean, me personally, I would probably get nervous. This is a huge pullback. Like, you lost a lot of money here. This is a big drawdown. And when stuff like that happens, 16%. And so when stuff like that happens, me personally, I get a little bit nervous and timid about like how am I taking, because I struggle taking profits. That's like a real thing. So my confidence with taking profits when I see 2 big red days, yeah, I'm probably, it's probably getting me out of here. But anyways, I'm looking at this right now because now most people would say this isn't tight. Like, these candles are loose. These candles definitely reducing the ADR. I can tell you that. It might not look like it, but my eye test tells me otherwise. These are reducing the ADR. This one is pretty wide, but these 2 right here are getting tight, right? So breaks down, so we keep going. There's nothing to see there. So it got back in range, right? It got back in range, and I think it got back in range, and this day right here, I would say kind of gapped out of range, but you probably got stopped out this day. So I really don't know, but I'd have probably took this entry right here, realistically, knowing me, because it kind of gapped out of range, but it's on very low volume. I just realized that, so maybe I wouldn't have taken it. But this day right here, I would approve for someone who doesn't trade off volume. I think this day makes sense. The next day, I'm definitely in this stock, right? If I didn't take it here, I think the next day I'm definitely in this stock, because there's more volume here now. The volume is it's not that much higher, but like I said, this day I might have took it, but this day I'm definitely paying attention. So I don't really consider any of these days right here like the break range. Let me see. I actually talked about this chart with someone before. I don't know how I drew my trend lines before. But I think realistically, how would I draw my trend lines here? Actually, just go to the daily. Actually, look at this on the daily. Okay, so this is the chart that I actually use a lot. I think I draw my trend lines like this. This one. I'm pretty sure that's how I draw my trend lines here. So I'm a daily. So I use daily as my trading methods. This is mainly what I use. Yeah. Let's see. How long have I been streaming so far? It's not telling me. All right, whatever. Guess it doesn't matter. So yeah, so this is what I really base my entries off of. This is what I do, like all my charting and stuff like that when I'm going through my scans and my sector scans and stuff like that. This is my sector scan. Everything here. This is my master watch list. You know, a couple stocks here, a couple commodity names that I like to track. I have charts that I like. Anyways, yeah, so beautiful chart here. Tail, right? So yeah, as I said, I think I take this trade here or here, either one of these days. I definitely don't take here because that's too much of a chase. Even though if someone wanted to say this was the top, I think that's a little bit much. If someone said this was the top of the range, I can understand that. But me personally, I'm probably drawing the trend lines here. All right, so let's get back to business. So we get here, we get volume confirmation on this day, and then another one this day. get a lot. And yeah, these two red days right here, I'd have been out. Just knowing me. Actually, I'd have probably, yeah, like, yeah, I don't know. Because the way this chart is, it's just, I don't know. I find this chart hard because of choppiness. So I'm looking at this now. We just made a big move. It's consolidating. It's respecting the 20 very much. And it breaks down. So, yeah, never mind. Okay. And there's nothing else here now for me. There's literally nothing else. Oh, I think I might have. No, I don't think I missed it. Yeah. I'll just skip right past this. Yeah, obviously that's because I don't see this as a setup. This too wide. For me, that's not. Yeah, I'm not taking that. Oh, and if I had to rate this setup right here, I'm taking this. I don't know if I don't know how often I'm taking this one. I'm probably if I'm feeling really good and I really want to make some money, I grab this here. This is like a 2 out of 10 trade for me, but I can see the entry still. I only don't take this trade, not because the range is ugly or anything like that, but mainly because the day before, the previous day, it broke this range. I might have taken this here. I didn't even see this, honestly. If I didn't see it, that's probably because I wasn't going to trade it. But here, I think I take this 2 out of 10 times. But here, just given the range that I've drawn, I probably definitely take this trade. This is probably like a with the volume coming in too. The volume wasn't that high this day. Just like a 1.3. So 19 divided by 15. Let's see what that is. 19 divided by 15. But yeah, this is about a 1.3 times volume, which is really not that high. But in the morning, I don't know what it looked like. But if this had a high relative volume, I'm probably taking this every single time. If it doesn't, it's just how confident I am. But there was a lot of unity in this sector here. So this was a very good trade. There was a lot of unity. Like if I go okay, let's show it on this one. So let's go back to this range. You're gonna see this range pop up a lot right here. So just look at this. So we're gonna go through oil and gas and see how many times we can spot this unity right here. So BPT just been on its own wave. All right. So you see Bohr also setting up, right? Same similar drop. You get a V here into this little run. So let's look at tail, see what we get. You get the V here to this little consolidation. It looks like tail broke out before Bohr. All right, you see it again with Sting, but it kind of just broke from here. But you can kind of see the V drop, and so you have some sector. Once again, you have it again. So next you have it again. You have like this sector unity right here, showing itself. So if you're looking at all these setups and you're saying, "Damn, all these are setting up," you didn't have to choose whatever chart you really want to trade. At that point, you see, okay, well, CIX is different. You see it in AR, another V drop to, consolidation range here. You see all these, right? So, I mean, even Oxy kind of had it. I didn't draw a range around this. But yeah, I mean, you can kind of see it here too. You could have took this day. So what I'm saying is you have a bunch of sector unity right here. So to me, this is one of my additive metrics that I pay attention to, sector unity. Very good. I mean, it's a very good trade to take when you see all this, and then you see the Intel, I think, broke out before a lot of the other ones, but a lot of them was setting up at the same time. Tel just broke out maybe like a day or two before. Doesn't really matter. Tel's not my favorite chart to trade, but I know it's a powerful breakout. Like I know it has a very powerful breakout. What is the other one that I hate? Yeah, Next had a very similar range here, right? So when you see the sector unity, you need to run to the one with the highest ADR. Like, if it's gonna break, the ones with the higher ADR is probably gonna make the best moves. But as you can see, AR broke from here and it kept grinding up. So these are the ones you want long term, but stuff like tail is probably the ones that you want for that short term 3 to 5 day action because you're gonna get a 20% move from this breakout. I mean, these things move. This is a 40% move. Let's look at the other ugly ass chart that I hate. You took this here. I probably don't take this here. I probably take this here. Yeah, that's why I have it right here as notes, possible entry. But from here, you got a 53% move in 2 days. You got these big ass red bars that's gonna fucking sell you out pretty much. You're gonna get nervous. I mean, I'm gonna get nervous. I don't have the cojones to hold on to that shit. I mean, I want my money, period. So, all right, so let's go to the next one. But we talked about Tel a lot. Okay, we can talk about Rail. Yeah, I took away my notes on this. So, first of all, when you talk about EPs, you want to talk about stuff being neglected. Now, I'm not the EP master, but I think at this point I'm probably better than a lot of people in the chat because I've studied them. I don't think most people have actually studied a lot of EPs. There's a couple of things here to notice about this stock, right? So let's actually go to the daily chart because we don't actually need this chart here. Let's go to the daily chart. Let's go back before this move was even made. What do you notice before this move was even made? You should notice some things about your setup or about the stock you're about to trade. Well, this is the 6 months. Let's look at the year. No, actually, the 6 months is good enough. First thing you should notice, this is a very long period for this stock to be range bound. This is 4 months of this stock being range bound. Let's see if we can notice anything else. Let's go to the year. All right. So it was trending down. I'm just going to draw a quick trend line, right? So it was trending down, right? Long term for a year, for almost a year, it was trending down, right? Hasn't broken this trend line. Now it's breaking this trend line, consolidating. And it has earnings coming up. Very thin stock, right? Not a lot of volume in this stock. People are not trading this. So let's look at what actually happens on the day, on these couple of days beforehand, right? Low volume. All right, 64K, no, 68K, 154K. The average is 113 for 113K for the record. 107, 272, 34.4, 61.7K. So I mean, the volume is like going in. It's having some. The volume is kind of everywhere, right? But it's a rather thin stock. It's not really trading any high numbers. On the day that it broke, it traded 2.9 million. That's a lot of relative volume. We're talking about the stock average was 103. On the day it broke, it traded 20 times, more than 20 times, almost 30 times the volume, about 29 times its average volume. We can go look at the numbers. Yeah. This is actually a great example. Let me show you how I have my stuff set up. So you'll notice my TC2000 looks a little bit different. Someone actually posted this in the chat on how to set up these videos. Let's go to, but yeah, like this is the Husky Trader tool. I mean, you don't have this. I don't know what to tell you. I can pretty much get news on anything whenever I want to. Pretty easy, really quick, straight from my program. I don't really have to do much. And if I switch stocks, looks what happens. Now we're looking at Clovis. Yeah, if I switch stocks, look what happens again. Oh, okay, I guess this stock doesn't have earnings. Let's try a different one. All right, so yeah, any stock that has earnings being reported, this is going to pop up, and I have all these. I have Seeking Alpha, Fidelity Research, bar chart. So I can pull up my bar charts here and look at historical stuff. I mean, I don't. The fuck is that about? Maybe just went into my settings that I had last time, which was in 2018. Anyways, that's off subject. But yeah, let's go back to Rail. Let's see the earnings. Let's see the earnings. Let's see the earnings. So this stock broke out around this time right here. And the numbers don't look that phenomenal. Let's see if there's any reported news. There was. Freight Cart America says moving production to Mexico is paying off. Wire Freight Car American shares trading higher today. I'm not about to go through all this. That's weird. The numbers actually decreased from the surprise last time was. Oh wait, I'm stupid. Never mind. This is the numbers right here: 175% and 188%. So this is pretty good numbers. Oh no, that's not right either. What am I talking about? Yeah, the numbers was reported 322 for December, and it was 42% and 24% revenue. Didn't beat the last quarters. I don't know why this jumped up so high. Yeah, actually. But you have a decent EP setup right here. I mean, the volume should have let you know that people were looking at this. But the earnings would have this wasn't that spectacular or anything like that. The stock, it did end up returning to the level that was at before. But I'm not, like I said, I'm not the EP master. You mean? Can I just copy another chart? Probably should. Copy this? No, I can't. I'm lazy. Not a big earnings beat. Earnings beat from long-term downtrend from neglected range. Neglected range. EPS was like. But just notice this, right? What's up with that? Why don't they Now there is, from my studies in the past, I'm not really sure what this is about. This change right here, why it's not reported. It usually is. But from my studies, neglect comes in many ways. Neglect comes in volume. Neglect comes in your range. You're trading inside of a range. You haven't broken range. Like your stock has just been not moving. That's also neglect. Neglect is also you don't have an analyst report. Like analyst is not watching your stock. That's neglect too. That's also neglect. You know, you're not, analyst is not really covering this stock, and then it beats the, you know, then it has good earnings. But I don't know, you know, this is weird in this case because this didn't exactly have good earnings. So yeah, but it looks like analysts might not have been covering this because I don't see this change here, but they had revenue, so I really don't know. But okay, well, no, they definitely, it was covered because it labeled it a surprise, so I'm wrong there. But that is another form of neglect, you know, from my studies. The stock is not being covered. It makes big news. You know, you see this a lot in like, kind of like biotech. You know, some random company comes out with fucking great news that no one's paying attention to. It trades 200 times its fucking average volume. Anyways, so I just looked at this 10 times and still didn't get the numbers. 42 and 24. Sheesh. 42 and 24. Tapped up. Tapped up how much? 10%, 11% pretty much. 55% run. I don't know about that. 28% run. The highest it got was 39%. You took it this day. I don't know how I was keeping track of these numbers. Anyways, the first 3 days you could have got 28%, then you could have got 39. I don't really know a profit taking strategy that's consistent, so I don't really even try to implement profit taking strategies in my studies. Pretty much, I don't really see the point. Honestly, I mean, unless you're back testing some profit taking strategy, then no. I mean, this thing went up 39% from open. So that's the. And you see also some people like, well, it didn't break the 10. Well, would you have held it to here? Honestly, I mean, that's something you have. So, like I said, I trade what I personally do. I mean, I study what I personally do. I know what the sell rules is: 3 to 5 days, wait till it breaks to 10, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I get all that. If you'd have waited till it broke to 10, it'd have been here, right? You'd have got 15%. I personally, right now, I can't say that I'm personally following the sell rules to the exact T, because this shit right here, this is a huge drawdown. Like, I'm not holding through that. That's just my reality. I'm not holding through that. I don't care if I sold 3 to 5 days. Like, if I sold this day at the top of this bar and I made a good percentage, I don't give a fuck. If it goes from here to there, I sold realistically. I sold this day. I sold this day right here. I moved my break even, or I didn't move my break even, but I moved my stop loss to right here at the bottom of this day. I do this all the time. And yeah, I'd have been wrong. Like, you could have got more off of this later, or if you'd have waited till it broke to 10, you wouldn't have got more off of this later. But I mean, to me, it doesn't. I mean, people got to do what they find works for them. I don't have the patience to sit and wait and watch my money disappear. That's why I'm literally a trader and not an investor, because I don't have patience. So I pretty much try to record how much money you could have made, and then yeah, I keep that in mind. Because I don't know a profit taking strategy that I'm like consistent on doing so far. I'm trying to figure out one. I did a couple of back tests and stuff like that. It's kind of hard to do these back tests on these things though, so I don't really yeah. All right, so RMCT, this was a EP candidate, and it says why or why not is RCMT a good EP candidate? So I'll answer that based on my knowledge. Right. Okay, so let's look at this. I mean, okay, so I had according to me, I had a couple of trades on this. If you went back here, so this is March, so this is January, and maybe I was bugging when I did this. Maybe, just maybe I was. I don't know. All right, so let's start at the beginning of the year. Okay, so we get to we get to here. So this stock right now is trending upwards, right? It's not the, I mean, it's decent growth. Like, this is 76% in like 6 months. That's decent growth, right? So this stock is coming off strong. This stock was consistently doing this thing since last year. I was watching this stock because I'm actually an engineer and I actually do work in construction. I seen this stock running up. A lot of the other engineering construction stocks were getting their ass tore up, and this stock was consistently running up. We had a little pullback here, and you can say this is kind of range bound. This is the all-time high, so just respect this. Like, it's only 25% away from his all-time highs, or his 52-week high. So now, at this point, this stock is still showing relative strength. Not compared to oil and gas, but to the industry. So this is not the hottest stock. This is not the hottest theme. It's kind of been range bound for a while right now. Yeah. And then we get a move here. You can see I already have my trend lines drawn. And yeah, this move I would have took. Look at this volume. So once again, if you look at this on the weekly, well, this is where we're at on the weekly, right? The weekly has not moved. The weekly is barely moving. This is a very long range for this stock to be doing nothing. This is pretty much in 3 months. This stock has not made a move. It hasn't really broken out. And you can see the 10 is now above the 20, which is now above the 50. We got all these things untangled, and we're showing some strength here. It's forming consolidation at the top of his range, closing at it 3 times. It gapped up above the range. Okay, peep game. It gapped up above the range. It gave you two times volume. And this is another thin stock. It wasn't trading a lot of volume. It's been grinding up. No one's really paying attention to this stock. I didn't see anyone really mention this in the chat at all for the entire year that it was running. Failed breakout, gap, slight gap of 3-month range, 3-month on 2x VC, and it failed. Every good setup doesn't work. I guess if you took this, it actually didn't fail. But realistically, I sold, or I got stopped out at break even. So I shouldn't say this failed, but this is probably a break even trade for me. So break even. This is not a failed breakout at all. You'd actually been in this if you like the hold through stuff, but I don't. So once again, oh no, this was a failed breakout. Look at this. Yeah, okay. Well, this is definitely, well, actually, you did this go up 12% from open? How much did it go up? It actually went up like 13%. So I'd have probably moved my stuff to break even, because that's what I do. So for me, this is probably a break even trade. Break even on slight gap up, blah 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 blah. All right, so and then it does some ugly shit here. I'm probably still watching it. This was a huge gap up. There's no range here. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about or what I was thinking. I don't think I take this trade at all. Was this earnings or something? Why did I note this? This must have been earnings. Okay, so this was earnings. Oh no, this wasn't earnings. All right, so what are we talking about? Yeah, I'm probably not taking this trade. I mean, I like the gap up, or maybe I'm not even saying this is an entry. Maybe I'm just marking this. Okay, let me see. Let me look at the news on this. So this had a report, reporter. So we reported on 3:30. So maybe this is it right here. Okay, so yeah, so we have an entry here because this is an EP. And this seems like a very good EP, right? I mean, we kind of just broke out our 3-month range and we're forming like a small consolidation range here. This first one right here is a very good EP. I don't know where these things are supposed to be. Okay. I'm confused as hell. Very increased volume with a gap up above range led to 50% move in 8 days with big earnings beat. EPS 9.99. Yeah. So here we go. So this is a good EP. Now, good EP, right? Here, this right here. I mean, this is in a range, I guess. You could say it's in a range for a month. And then it gapped out of that range. It gapped above that range. But this EP is decent. This is a good EP. I don't really know about this one. I mean, we're kind of like already broken out. This was the one to get the EP. This EP also worked, but do I think this is a good one? No, I don't think it's good because it's not really neglected. But it had tons of volume here, so even if it wasn't good, I was taking it regardless. That's just how I do things. I follow volume, so. But I don't think this is the best EP setup that you. Yeah, I don't think this. Like, first you got to break out here. So this is broken out twice within. Let's see. It's broken out twice within like 30 days. I mean, you had huge volume. You have people paying attention to it. It's not really neglected, which is one of the principles of the EPs that is kind of supposed to be neglected, in my opinion. And this range was very short. I mean, and this range is really not like a range for real. Like, honestly, if we're being honest here, it's not really like a good range. It did consolidate and gap up over it. I mean, it was a decent gap up, right? 27%. Yeah, yeah. Like, I don't know. I'm not the EP master. Go ask someone else that is. But in my opinion, this second one wasn't a good EP. It was decent. Like, if I had to rate it, maybe 3 stars. This was a 5-star one right here, in my opinion. Maybe 4, but I'm going with 5. But maybe 4. I mean, look at the earnings numbers. Look at the value, and it just came out at 3-month base. Yeah. Yeah. Like, no, this one's really good. The second one, not so much. All right, so let's move on. And I said I was gonna go fast. I never go fast. I'm lying. Okay, there's no setup here. We should move on, but let's talk about it, I guess. We already took too much time, so there's no setup here, though. There's 0. I'm gonna actually make this the thumbnail. And let's just take the screenshot now. This one actually wasn't like a noob catch or anything like that. Maybe it is. I mean, it's very similar to this one, right? Maybe not. Maybe not. This one had a legit run. I don't really know about that. Like, it was downtrending this whole time. Let's go to the daily. Let's look at this on the daily. I might be biased because I actually took a trade on 10, which was retarded. Now looking back on it, like, I regret it for sure. There was definitely people in the chat giving us signs not to take it, but for me, this had just broke a downtrend. The way I was looking at it. So, okay, maybe not. Maybe I should have been looking at it better. I don't know. You can draw this however you really want to. I don't know. That's probably more accurate of a trend line here. Either way it goes, this thing was definitely kind of bearish, but I thought it had bottomed out. I got faked out hard. We missed a real move, which was no setups anyways. And then I took the trade right here and got blown up. I didn't get blown up. I take that back. I mean, I just lost the trade. I got blown up by this sector though. That was pretty much the point. I thought solar right here around at the end of March was setting up, but April actually destroyed me. I lost a decent amount of money trying to trade solar stocks during this time period. I think I also took NDPH. Is that it? No, that's not the stock. I don't know. It's another solar stock. Either way it went, the solar sector tore me up this year trying to trade this when I should have done what was working. It was a very valuable lesson I learned. Stop trying to catch the stock before it's like confirmed that it's actually in an uptrend. The stock was not in an uptrend looking back at it. The solar industry was not in an uptrend. It was just showing, I don't even know if it was showing relative strength. Let's actually go look at this. Let's look at the QQQ. Let's go back. Let's go back to 10. If 10 was right, this was the entry date. Let's see what QQQ looks like at this time. No, it actually wasn't even showing relative strength. It might have outperformed it or whatever, but it's moving right along with it. Like, this is not really relative strength in my opinion. Like, it's moving right along with it, and it failed right along with it. And this has happened again. I know people recently said solar was setting up. Oh, I take that back. I might be wrong. No, not really. I mean, it failed with it too. It just didn't fail as hard. That's a good sign though. Whatever. While we're here, yeah, this is looking pretty decent. Anyways, so next, what's the next chart to look at? Or did I close out of it? I don't know. We won't need this anymore. There's no more EPs. SWN. What's the last? SWN and X. Okay. Let's swing through this real quick. SWN. All right, so let's look at this. Once again, I go back to just get an understanding. This stock is close to its all-time highs at the beginning of this. This 52-week high, right? Pretty close. I think this is his 52-week high right now, and yeah. So this stock is more range bound, more or less. It's starting to trend downwards. It got out of there, so now we can start looking at it. Now is when this stock would actually start. I would start paying attention to it. This got to this 52-week high, it made a pullback. I mean, the stock is very choppy. No, I'm not taking this. So yeah, that's why I just skipped over it like that. And you see, I didn't take it, but it made a pretty solid move. And maybe there was something to pay attention to here to look at, but me personally, I don't see the edge in this range. Not trading this too often. I know this stock was kind of getting cock blocked by the 10 and then finally gapped up over the 10 and broke. I talked to a couple of people that did the quiz. I asked them about taking this trade right here, why they did it. They said they found edge and gap ups over the 10. I never studied it, but that's just something they said. Okay, so yeah, I mean, this was a big breakout too. My goodness. I mean, this thing really ran. 50%, huh? It didn't really run. I lied. I mean, it had a bunch of green days. So yeah, right here we can look at this. I mean, we're watching it. We're not making a big deal, or it's not actionable yet, I guess would be a better phrase for that. And yeah, this, I don't see anything here. Once again, I don't trade. I don't look at 10 below the 10's below the 20. I don't really trade when a 10 is like exactly below the 20, but this, I don't like this order of how this stuff is here. But the price, the price action doesn't look bad here. I think some people might have took this trade, but I didn't. So pretty much there was, oh, wait. Yeah, no. No. I don't take that either, I don't think. Yeah, there was no actionable trades here for me. And the next one is next. The last one is next. And okay, well, we already have our everything filled out for this stock. So all right, so once again, this is the 52-week high. It's up here, I'm assuming, at least. So when we get to our actual dates where we're looking, that's important. You see, this is doing bad right now. Like, so coming in, that's something you have to realize. Like, so there's no reason to look for a setup here or here. But now this thing's made a big move. Now we can start looking at it. That's just me. I pay attention to something is at the bottom of his range or at the top. Okay, so I marked this as a mean reversion bounce, I'm assuming, which is something totally different that I study. I'm surprised. I said I take this. Okay. I understand why I take this, because I don't actually wait for stuff to break the trend line. I know. I'm crazy. I'm not following the rules, whatever. I actually don't. But you could have probably took this the next day too. So either way, if you didn't take it here, I think I take it here because it's closer to the 10 and I'm watching it and it just made a big move, making 4 days of consolidation. Pretty tight ranges on some of these candles. I'm respecting the 10 for the most part. I think this day you might have got stopped out here. I don't know. But if I didn't take it this day, I would have definitely took it this day, because this day had tons of value. Right? So I'm definitely taking it this day. I think this day is the better day, and this is why you should actually wait for it to break. But this day, for me, is probably like a 5 out of 10 on my confidence. Like, just depending, I probably take this trade 5 out of 10 days. This day right here, with the gap down, I would say a gap down underneath range, but then huge volume comes in. I don't know. I'd probably look at this, and this is probably a 7 out of 10 day, because it's just so much volume. So much volume. It's like really close to the 10. It's not that far extended. The 10-day price was 640, and this opened up at 653. It's not that extended from it. You know, so both of these days I could take, but I I think I said I would take it this day, but both of these days here was pretty good days to take this setup. I think at least. Moving forward. Moving forward, I don't see nothing here. I don't see nothing here. I don't know why I skipped 2 days. Okay, so we get some consolidation. It broke out of consolidation. Okay, this is that time where you got a lot of these things were setting up the same way. So tail has broken out at this time. I think tail probably broke out this day. Okay, so tail actually broke out, yeah, this day right here. While this is still consolidating, and this day it breaks out right here. And you get a lot of volume. So you see volume creep out of the stock, right? A lot of volume for 3 days. And you see I have a 3-day ADR right here. So I actually measure the stuff in 3 days. The consolidation period is by 3 days. So we get, I don't know if this is reduction of ADR right here. I actually don't think it is. But the volume creeps out and I have this TR rank right here. This is not for this is actually for the current time. It measures the current time, so I can't go back and look at this. But since the volume crept out so much compared to the last days, this TR ranking will be very high. The highest value you can get is 2. But it's a measure of reduction of ADR, which I track, and reduction of volume, which I also track. So this right here, probably a decent trade. I don't know how often I take that trade, but yeah, I would say I'd probably take this trade 5 out of 10, maybe 6 out of 10. It has a lot of volume behind it, but it's a failed breakout anyways, so it doesn't matter. And then you get another setup right over here. Maybe I'm saying I don't take this. I don't know. I think I do take this though. No, I probably don't actually. Because it didn't consolidate enough. I measured stuff in 3 days, and I don't think, yeah, this didn't consolidate for 2 days. It only consolidated for 2 days and not 3. I don't really like when stuff has failed breakouts, especially with like you had a failed breakout and it's a bunch of other trades that happened before you. So while I do think this is an entry, right? You already had the sector breaking out and actually had seen success. Some stocks is already up like 20-30%. And you're over here failing breakouts, and you broke out a day later. But the day later is not like a big thing. It's just, I'm just saying, like, I have probably already put my money into some stocks, and I'm probably not actually trading this stock too often because this stock doesn't make big moves from breakout ranges. This is 20%. Yeah, I'm probably going for the higher ADR stocks. I mean, it made a big move here. 56% in 3 days, but yeah, after that, it didn't really make too many, I would say, great moves where the stock grinds up, much like AR, but not as good as AR, I would say. Anyways, you'd have got stopped out if you took this anyways. Oh, you probably got a break even trade. But yeah, I can see how this can be I can see how this trade would, some people would take this trade. I wouldn't argue with that. Break even on yeah, how much did this go up? So this went up like 17%. I mean, that's actually pretty good before it reversed. Break even on what was the volume? 6.1 divided by 3.5. 1.75 average volume. 75 D 75 D BC. I think that's how I was noting things. So anyways, so yeah, let's keep going. See if we get any more trades here. And you can see how I'm like changing things as I go. Like, I don't think you, that's why it's that's why I don't really say like, oh, 5 or it's a 5-star 3. I just say, how often do I think I take this trade? And if it's like I think I take this trade 10 out of 10 times, then to me that's a 5-star, I guess. If it's like 7 out of 10, then it's like a 4-star. But I'm not really judging on the setup. I'm just judging on how I personally trade and in my metrics that I trade up. Like a gap up on high volume from an ugly range is probably a 5-star setup to me, because I'm probably taking it 9 out of 10 times. I don't care. Like that's from my studies. My study says take this. I think BPT broke out the same time. Nope, I lied. You could have traded this as a range, I guess, or something like this. I don't know. Maybe not. I know I was looking at BPT like right here, I guess. But you could draw these trend lines different. Anyways, yeah, so that wraps up the stream. Yeah, I'm streaming at random. I am gonna put this long ass video on my YouTube. I think it's pretty good, especially if you're interested in how I personally trade. Because I don't trade like everyone else. As I noted, if it's a gap up on high volume, I'm probably in that boy on the 5-minute opening range high, and I trade actually on the 15 opening range high. But high volume gap ups, I'm trading on the 5-minute opening range high or the 2-minute sometimes, depending on how much I like it. So we all trade different ranges. Trading's personal. I do these exercises like this because they let you know what you actually like to trade, and it gives you more of an involvement to study it, to learn your edge more. If you take every single setup that you believe is, I guess, good, and you don't really know the accuracy of that personal setup, I think you're going to struggle a lot on your journey, because you need to know like what you're trading. Like you need to know how often or how big you win on gap ups with a high opening value. Or you need to know like a normal consolidation range. What is your win rate? All these setups are not equal. They're not all the same setups. They're variations. You need to know how you feel about the variations, and if you have added confidence behind it. What was the trade that I recently took? I took this trade. I didn't hesitate. A lot of people in the chat said this was a bad trade. Blah blah blah. This blah 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 that. I think the line was like it's a laggard, this and that. I think it was a laggard until like it showed relative strength during this period right here, while everything else was falling apart. This thing was, or recovering. This thing was doing the exact same thing. Like it showed the same relative strength in oil and gas EP as this, and it just came off of a huge move. Came off a 172% move, and it consolidated at its all-time highs. I think all-time highs. I can't say that for sure, but I think it consolidated at its all-time highs. Yeah, I mean, this was a 4 month, right? Like this is not equal. This is not the same setup as this, which I also took. These are not equal, in my opinion. This is a regular breakout, and this is different. I have studied both, and I found personal edge in both. This is a different variation. This is a longer term breakout, and you can see this on the weekly. This is kind of neglected, and then it gets this huge volume that comes in that says, hey, I took it on this huge volume, and I'm taking it every time. People in the chat felt different, but a lot of people in the chat haven't studied their variations. They don't know their variations. I mean, to put it very simple, they don't know like that a gap up is not the same as a regular opening range. You get different. If you study it, you're going to in my studies, the gap up has made bigger moves. They have won more consistently. I don't know what to say. Like, what's another one that just what's another gap up? I forgot the stock. I can probably figure it out. It doesn't matter. Anyways, we're cutting off the stream. I got stuff to do. It's 5:30. I got places to be. I got a surprise birthday party to get to and other shit. So that's going to wrap it up. I hope everyone has a good Father's Day, and also happy Father's Day to all the fathers. Whenever the market comes back, whoever knows what that is, I'll be streaming a lot more consistently. Until then, I'll probably be making more content on my YouTube. I probably won't get editing software because I'm gonna be honest, I'm lazy. Who cares? I'm not lazy. I'm lazy in this. I'm lazy in creating content, and I don't really have a reason to do content. Because I'm a stock trader. That's number one. I'm gonna focus on actually learning and studying my edges and becoming better in my journey and learning how to be more disciplined. Reading books, stuff like that. I don't want to spend hours doing this. I did this solely because someone asked me to do it. It's the only reason why I made any type of videos. All right, and with that being said, I'm out. Let's see if I can know the buttons. I don't know the buttons. Okay. There we go. All right. You guys take it easy.